makes sense to have monitors for regular matches than CRT for like the stream matches. I think for the players that could be very, very jarring. So keep it one way or another, and even between like CRTs, there's a lot of like variance between the different models and the builds, and some have much better definition, some don't, and then between different CRTs, there is actually different latency as well. So those are all decent reasons to just switch to monitors, and I know that that's a big reason why a lot of people have switched, like the nightclub. I think there have been some majors that have done it as well. So, but yeah, I mean, I just like CRTs, like Espi. But going in, do you have any knowledge on how Espi feels about this matchup, or how Jess plays this matchup either?
I'm actually not sure. No, actually, I don't. I've definitely seen Espi play this matchup a fair amount. We do have a couple capable Marth players in our region. This player Dipper comes to mind, but I don't know. I haven't actually spoken with him about how he feels about this matchup. Lately, we have been hearing from a lot of top players, like all of a sudden, maybe it's not so bad for Fox. Maybe it's even. I know IBW did mention that on the stream a couple times after previously talking about it in a very negative way. So I don't know. I'm curious.
Yeah, I mean, okay. I mean, so far we've. I was gonna say we've seen a lot of good Marth Fox stuff, and then we just saw some really weird stuff right there. But okay, so Espi priming himself to get the edge guard. Okay, yeah, goes for a ledge hop back air there. I think it should. Oh no!
Oh, just the regular get up, and we see the eye roll from Espi. Espi knowing that is not what he wanted there. But this is the kind of risky thing: is if you can't convert off of those kills, Marth gets grabbed, and suddenly your stock is deleted. But that also should have been it. Ooh.
Yeah,
stocks.
Like when you're Fox and you miss that guaranteed edge guard, okay, nice. I guess nice up tilt to clean up the stock, but like when you're at 0 and when Marth is at like 100 something, like it really feels like as Fox, like you could just die.
Yeah.
And that sucks. So there's a lot of pressure there. Okay, I was wondering because we saw that Jess did a lot of pivot stuff in their previous set. I was curious if they're gonna go for pivot stuff against Spacey's, because that's where pivots I think really shine. Like even right there could have been an up throw into dash forward pivot forward smash. So I'm curious to see how many attempts we're gonna have of pivot related things against Fox. Oh, nice. Dude, is Espi gonna get the stock from that tech? Oh my god, he is.
That's like 2021 Melee in a nutshell, man. You like go for an option that like would have been safe a couple years ago, and instead you get literally killed for it. But we are right back to even stocks. Jess and Espi both keeping this quite close. I really agree with the idea that Marth can get so much off of the pivots, and if you guys have played Zeus Marth, like he is really leveraging that. So I hope that we see that from Jess too. There was a time where people used to just talk about it with Puff, and I feel like that's really kind of underrating how useful pivots actually are.
Yeah, I mean, Jess just got the last stock with a raw pivot forward smash neutral. Oh my god, Espi! That was a huge call out on the side B right there against Marth, but dash forward almost. I guess actually if the shorten was going to be long enough for the ledge, it would have gotten that forward smash. So
nice SCI from Jess to pull out of that drill from like the first or second hit, really just making it difficult. Even there, it looked like, but protected so far. Yeah.
Shooting the lasers.
Get that extra damage.
That's so. Is that BM? I'm not sure because it's like it doesn't do anything. I love the way Jess plays neutral. Honestly, like the way they use their dash, because it's like I feel like Jess has baited so many things from Espi so far. Dashing in, dashing back, doing an aerial, dashing back, doing an aerial, dashing through. Mixing up basically all those three options and more, just making it super, super confusing on Fox's end. Like, when should I approach? When should I actually like overshoot? When should I commit? And it's just like when you're thinking about all those things, you're way more likely to make mistakes, and therefore you're way more likely to get grabbed and comboed, right? So like I think we've been seeing a lot of that in this set so far.
Yeah, no, it really is quite high-level play all around. Once able to get this edge guard, Espi's end, and this could be a pretty juicy conversion. And just to keep it shielding and stay safe. Oh, that's it.
Yeah. Wow, wave dash out of shield between the shield pressure. That's some kind of risky and really good execution. So nice stuff from Jess there.
Kind of surprised to see the up air there from Espi, kind of at around like the mid-high %. didn't end up really working out, but maybe, sets him up in a decent position. It's always always interesting to see how players kind of opt to attack in situations where it's sort of a bit more ambiguous what you should do.
I mean, against Marth is like the king of ambiguous, right? Like, it's so hard to really lock him down as Fox. You don't have a projectile, you just have movement. Your aerials, have a bit of range, but it's like, depending on your range, you could just get dash dance grabbed and punished. So it's like really scary. But okay, Espi not getting the edge guard there, unfortunately. Oh, yeah, like when do you go in, right? Like, it's so scary, and well, he might die for that.
Oh, just a raw up tilt. Haven't seen many of those so far, but goes to the back here, respecting the FCI from Jess. And Espi takes, I believe, the first lead of the set, if I recall, or at least the first substantial lead. But just as I say that, it is quickly disappearing.
I mean, it kind of feels that way, right? At least in this game in particular. Wow, what a counter!
Yeah, these are the moments where you kind of feel the Fox complaints.
Oh,
they feel a little valid, like, oh man, you can kind of go in, you get an opening, you mess up your spacing just a little bit, take 92%, and then maybe you get edge guard and killed. Like,
dude,
that just hurts your mental game so much. Like, it's rough if you are Espi. Good opening up though so far, like that up tilt.
Wow, even jumping out of that setup from Jess, I think maybe a buffer jump, that's a really tight window to get out of.
I gotta say, like, Espi's still staying pretty composed, took a solid amount of damage, but answering right back and keeping it relatively close, but this is a big opening, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I saw that pivot forward smash as well. Or not pivot, just like tipper.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Anything's possible. You can build up some percent.
Oh, but you don't want a tournament winner.
No.
Dude, Jess's dash dancing has just been so good, and it's just like, man, getting the whiff punishes, and I just want the people to also pay attention to their dash forward in particular. Like, a lot of Marths, and this is kind of like an old school thing, dash through Fox. You see that more against like Falcon and Pikachu, for example, but against Fox it's kind of rare. But we've been seeing that a lot with Jess, so it's like, man, the movement is just so good.
It's one of the things that makes Melee like such a beautiful game to watch. Is just how much kind of movement is such a centralized role in the neutral, and just how kind of sophisticated the movement can be. I feel like a lot of the reason why we saw Mango have the success he had against Zane was just this like insane pressure that he achieved through that movement. So it's sick.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. But it's just like, man, is that the level that Espi needs to defeat this Marth right now, right? Like,
actually though, yeah.
Oh
my god. What a beautiful neutral beat.
I haven't really seen that idea before much. That was super cool. I might steal that.
Zoo is taking notes. That's always a big compliment if you are getting that during your set. So good stuff for Jess so far. Really getting a lot of momentum, but just barely doesn't get it.
That's not gonna kill. Yeah, this is such a tough position for Espi, honestly. And great on Jess to make it this tough, but like, man. Yeah, Espi's gotten like almost nothing for free.
I think the thing that I keep wondering is, at the beginning of this set, if you guys are just tuning in, Zoo said, like, what does Espi think about this matchup? I think the better question is, what does Espi think about the matchup right now? Because, I don't know, it's feeling uphill so far, but good side up on the up and on the grab.
Yeah, I mean, when stuff like that, there's the dash through again, but like when stuff like that happens, when it's like, oh, Marth does a waveland back into pivot forward, into tipper forward smash, and then like all of these like, oh my god, pivot regrabs and stuff is just, it feels like you can't do anything, and then that's where like the thoughts start creeping in, right? And it's like game 3.
You can only slight DI for so long until you just start to lose it a little bit. You're just like, he's really gonna pivot everything, or they are really gonna pivot everything. Just like, I'm recalling all this because for people's reference, Zoo and I played for like about 40 minutes, and it was just, it was very brutal, okay? So Thinking more about myself here, and I think Jess,
Oh
much like
man.
you, really has it unlocked in punish game.
I mean, Marth has that power, unfortunately, in Spaces, and it's just like, it takes a lot to overcome it. So, I mean, we'll see if Espi can do that right now, but, I mean, so far it's just, yeah, it's just so hard. And, dude.
You know, what I do want to stress is that Jess is sick, okay? Because I feel like the whole time we've been like, man, this matchup is brutal. And I think both Zoo and I never once thought, oh, this